All right, y'all. What's up? It's your boy Juan. Today we're reviewing Transformers: Rise of the Beast, directed by Stephen Cable Jr., who directed Creed 2, which is personally my favorite Creed movie out of the three. But yeah, today we're reviewing Transformers, and I'm not gonna lie, this was a pretty solid film compared to the previous few Transformers movies that we got. This is probably the best one since the first one. So, Bumblebee, I'm not really gonna consider Bumblebee like it is a Transformers movie, but it's more like a solo story kind of movie. So I'm not gonna really compare that to the other ones, even though I still think Bumblebee is a good movie. But I'm not gonna compare it to the actual Transformers movie with all the actual Transformers together. But growing up, the first Transformers movie was the most amazing thing I've ever seen in my life. I'll never forget watching that movie during, I think it was summer, when my sister took me to go see it, and I just remember being in awe of seeing a gigantic robot come to life on the big screen. It was a very surreal moment. All right. That movie will always have a special place in my heart. But the sequels though, other than Revenge of the Fallen, I think the rest of the movies are pretty hard to watch. I watched Dark of the Moon, and the last one I saw was the Age of Extinction. I didn't watch last night, and I don't know if there's another one, but I didn't watch last night. I because of how bad Age of Extinction was. But yeah, this is probably the best one since the original, in my opinion. Also, just an FYI, the first Transformers movie was my introduction into the Transformers world because I knew about when I was little. I heard about the Transformers show and all that because I was surrounded by other kids who liked Transformers. But I would never really get into it like that. I couldn't get into the cartoons or anything. But when that day came, when my sister took me to watch the Transformers movie, I've God, it was such a special day. I'll never forget that day. And ever since then, been I've been attracted, not attracted. I've just been just putting my attention to those Transformers movie. It sucks that they kind of lost their pizzazz towards like the last two films because Dark of the Moon was okay. I don't think it was great like other people say. I think Revenge of the Fallen is better than Dark of the Moon. I just think Dark of the Moon and all the other ones like Age of Extinction and The Last Night, I think those movies kind of like maybe drag way too much. But I'll give them credit with Michael Bay cuz Michael Bay, he loved directing those movies. You could tell by how that was shot. Every time there was a transformer on screen in his movies, it he made it look like it was like the greatest thing in cinema history, bro. It was great. But other than that, like their stories were kind of lacking. And honestly, in this movie, it's a story we've seen in other Transformers movies. You know, there's something that the Autobots need or have, and the bad guys are trying to get after. You know, stuff like that. But the main thing that started to get really annoying in the Transformers movies were just the human interactions, bro. I just when it comes to Transformers movies, other than the first one, I just want to see the Transformers, fight each other. The fight against the Terratron or I forgot what they were called. I know the Decepticons. Like I'm saying, I didn't watch the shows growing up, but my first introduction was, the movie. And all I know is everything I know about Transformers is by the movies. That's it. I don't know nothing about the show, like the Beast Wars show of the whatever it was called back in the day. My brother was telling me about it. I know nothing about that. But if you are I don't know what the Beast, the Beast Wars, whatever it's called. I forgot what it's called. But if you're a fan of that show or that movie that was out, there's not really much of the Maximals in this movie. If you know what there's two of them, Optimus Primal and the I don't know what the bird's name. I forgot her name already. I'm sorry, but the bird. Those are the only two Maximals that we see in the movie, pretty much. Everyone else is kind of sidelined. The more I think about it, and then the standout of this movie was Mirage, played by Pete Davidson. In my opinion, he was my favorite part of the movie. I could see how other people may think he'd probably be the most annoying in the movie because he is the jokester. He is the real jokester, but he I think his jokes hit for the most part. Maybe there were probably like maybe one, maybe two jokes that didn't land with me because it was kind of a serious moment when he made that joke. So it was kind of a little out of place. But other than that, his character was great. Optimus Prime, great. How could you not love Optimus Prime? Bumblebee, my guy, my favorite Transformer from the movies growing up. Still a badass in this movie. Oh my god! But yeah. I just really wish that they would just focus more on like the Cybertron story. It's teased throughout like a lot. I don't know if it's in the. I don't know if it's in the last night because I have no idea how that movie played out. So bear with me. I remember in the first three Transformers movie, they referenced the Cybertron War a lot, and that's growing up as I got older and I watched those movies back. I'm like, why haven't they really done any War on Cybertron type movie? That's what I want to see because I'm not gonna lie, the human conflict, the humans in this movie were they weren't bad. They weren't that bad as they were in like the older movies, like the last few movies. Um, but they were handled much better. But I still think that you don't need a human being in a transform like the character. I forgot the character. His last name was Diaz in the movie, and then the chick I forgot her name as well. But they worked fine together. I didn't mind them. They weren't handling like too much of their backstory that much in the movie, except with one part with Diaz and towards the end, which I really it was supposed to like hit you hard with meaning, but it didn't really get me like that because I really don't care about the human stories in Transformers movie. I just want to see, like I said before, I just want to see Transformers movies when they fight each other, like the Autobots and the Decepticons and the Terracons. I think that's what they're called. I just want to see them fight each other and the war on Cybertron. That's literally all I want to see, bro. But I hope we get to that one day. But it didn't happen in this movie. But overall, this movie is still a solid 8 out of 10. It wouldn't be that high though if the mixtape and where it was shot, where the location where the movie was shot took place. That's what really makes up a lot of the points for me. For those of you who don't know, I am half Peruvian. My mother is from Peru, so I had no idea that this movie was shot in Peru until I actually saw the movie. I saw the trailer, but I didn't really think much of it. I didn't really pay attention to detail. I think I saw the trailer only maybe twice. I think the full trailer, but every time I saw a trailer in a movie theater for the other movies I've watched, it would just show that 30-second clip of the movie or the trailer, a 30-second trailer for the Transformers movie. So I couldn't really see where it was shot. But when I saw that they shot in Peru, I was like, oh my god, that is so cool to finally see half of my family side's culture being represented on a big screen, and it's specifically a really big budget movie as well. So that was a home run for me, so I could see some part of my culture in a movie. But yeah, that this because of that, this movie is gonna have like a little soft spot for me because of what they did in Peru and how they shot those certain scenes in Machu Picchu and in Cusco, which is where um they really had like their little plan to go like attack and stuff like that to like find the piece that they were looking for. But yeah, that part of the movie was makes up a lot of of the points of that give this movie. So overall, if you're a Transformers fan, you're gonna like this movie. If you're not a Transformers fan, you may not like this movie. But if you're Peruvian, you'll like this movie. I liked it. But yeah, and also if you're a fan like me of 90s hip hop, which I am, you'll definitely love this movie. But overall, I still think this movie's solid. I still think it's on the better side of Transformers movies. It easily went into top 3 easily. But I just hope for the next movie that they kind of do something different with the story. Which, by the way, looks of it, I don't think they will because of how it ended. But we'll see. It is kind of a confusing ending though, or not confusing. It was just weird how it ended. The last scene with the guy. So yeah, and also Diaz, he has a moment in this scene where he I don't want to get too deep into spoilers, but it's just something happened to him, and it just made me laugh of what happened to him. I yeah, that was a really cheesy part of the movie to me. To it might not be cheesy for someone else, but to me it was kind of cheesy. But overall, other than that stuff, it's still a great Transformers movie, a solid movie. Like I said, 8 out of 10. If it wasn't for like the Peruvian and the '90s hip hop soundtrack, I think I probably would have given it a solid like 6.9, almost 7 out of 10. So yeah, I would I I would recommend this movie if you're a Transformers fan. So yeah. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please leave a like down below and comment if you're Peruvian in the comment section. But hope you guys have a good day. Peace.